So I'll run through a couple things on the car, some of the functionality, and some of the things aren't working. This is shot just after the cold start. As you can see, the oil pressure gauge is not functioning. I did send this instrument cluster out to Chris Rose, and when it came back, it was working intermittently. I made the mistake of pulling the cluster out and seeing if there was anything loose while it was wired in. I ended up shorting out all the lights on it. I had a local shop put it back together. I did test the sending unit, and that does appear to work, but I think it's something on the back instrument cluster, and cars these days don't have it. This does have a idiot light on it, so I'm not too worried about it and haven't put any effort into it. As far as HVAC, so what I've done to this car HVAC wise is I did go and replace the condensing unit. There's a place called Kilma Design Works. I think Kilma Design Works. I'll make sure I put it in the posting. And they put a parallel flow condenser together that works better with the newer refrigerant. This AC compressor and the dryer and everything was converted over by Pierre Hedgery in Titusville a couple years ago. And I was using this as my daily driver in Southwest Florida. And anybody that's familiar with these 126s, if you're sitting in stop and go traffic and 95 degrees, 95% humidity, you'll see the coolant temperature starts to climb a bit. And the air conditioner, of course, is really taxed. So I put in that condenser. I also put in a resistor and the harness for the secondary fan to kick it on a little bit sooner. And since doing both those things, I've seen quite a bit of improvement when you're driving in hot climates with the engine temperatures as well as the AC. Pierre did pull the fan out from underneath the passenger footwell. They lubricated it. When I got the car, it was making a racket, so I did change it out. Of course, the choice between a Chinese one and the Mercedes-Benz one was about $400 or $500 difference. I went with the Chinese one. I haven't had a problem with it. It's functioned, so we'll run through the functionality of this. You can see right now it's about 65 degrees out. I'll put it on minimum cooling, and we'll see if we can get a temperature here. Of course, with the outside temperature being what it is, this won't be very representative of what you would expect on a warm day, but you can hear the fan spooling up. I will say on a warm day, I did do this test with the temperature gun, and I was seeing, if I remember right, somewhere around a 30-degree temperature differential between ambient and what was being put out of the vent. So that's probably about as good as you're going to get. You can see here we're getting already somewhere around a 20-some degree temperature differential. Now I'll put it back in the middle. You can hear the fan spool down. And I'll swap it over to heat. Put it on max heat. I can feel the flaps have moved positions. And now it's starting to get a bit warm coming out. Now, of course, the car is not quite up to temperature yet. Hopefully you can see we're starting to see temperatures climb here. We've had a couple of cold days here in Florida recently, down in the mid 40s. I know for some of you, you probably think that's not cold, but it works enough to take the edge off. The heated seats front and back do work. I'll stop this video here and I'll go on to another one with some other functionality.